Envy rarely shows itself head-on. It prefers to hide behind a smile and a congratulations. It disguises itself as courtesy, as an innocent comment, but its true purpose is to make you doubt yourself. How lucky you are. You've changed. Let's see how long it lasts. These are phrases that sound harmless, but are designed to diminish your value, to make you lower your head and feel guilty for shining. Not everyone celebrates your growth. Some tolerate it, others envy it in silence. And when they can't stop you, they try to diminish you. They do it subtly, with irony, with words that hurt more because they seem polite. But the Stoic knows something they don't, that no other's word has power over the one who masters their emotions. You don't need to respond or explain or justify yourself. Calmness is your best defense, and silence your most powerful weapon. This video is not about exposing the envious, but about strengthening you. To teach you to recognize attitudes disguised as courtesy that seek to sabotage your confidence, and to apply Stoic wisdom to maintain your center. Because true strength is not in confrontation, but in serenity. Don't let others' voices become limits. Let your perseverance, your discipline, and your peace be the most powerful response. When observed without reacting, envy is like a foggy mirror. It reflects more of the other person than of you. But if you try to clean it with your hands, you only make it dirtier. Every word loaded with sarcasm, every fake smile, and every comment disguised as a joke seeks one thing: to provoke you. They want you to defend yourself, to get upset, to respond. Because when you react, you give them exactly what they want: your energy, your calm, your control. The first step to disarm an envious person is to observe without falling into their game. Not because you are indifferent, but because you understand that it is not worth spending your serenity to prove something. The Stoic does not need to shout his truth, he lives it. While others get tangled in reactive emotions, he chooses serenity as his shield. That is the difference between who controls the situation and who is controlled by it. When someone throws phrases at you like, "You think you're a big deal lately," "You've changed," or "Don't forget where you come from," they're not looking for dialogue. They're trying to bring you down to their level, to feel equal. Don't respond from pride, respond with presence. Look at them. Understand where this need to belittle comes from, and let their words fall by themselves due to lack of response. There is no weapon more powerful than composure. Intelligent silence is not submission, it is strategy. People who live comparing themselves always seek to drag you to their emotional level, because in calm, they cannot control you. If you get upset, you lose power. If you maintain composure, the power changes hands. Inner mastery is not demonstrated with words, but with the ability not to be dragged by the noise. Remember that not everyone is prepared to see you advance. Some prefer the version of you that they could understand, the version that did not challenge them. But growing implies discomfort. When you start to surpass yourself, your mere presence becomes a reminder of their stagnation, and that's why they try to ridicule you or take away your merit. It is their way of protecting their wounded ego. It is not personal, it is reflection. Marcus Aurelius said that men do not get angry at what happens to them, but at what they think about what happens to them. The same happens here. Their comments are not against you, but against the image of themselves that they cannot bear to see reflected in your progress. That's why the key is not to avoid the envious, but to learn to stand firm in front of them. Practicing this lesson does not require great speeches, just self-awareness. The next time someone throws a phrase at you disguised as courtesy, don't defend yourself. Observe it. Recognize the intention without judging, and let the situation dissolve in your serenity. Because when you do not react, you break the cycle. The Stoic knows that reaction is a form of emotional slavery. Every time you respond impulsively, you give up control of your mind. But when you observe without getting upset, you send a silent message: "You can't touch me." And that message is felt, perceived, imposed. No one can manipulate someone who does not seek approval. Keeping calm is an art that is trained every day. Don't expect to do it perfectly, But every time you choose silence over confrontation, you strengthen your character. It's not about letting them walk all over you, it's about not letting them drag you into their chaos. The strong mind does not defend itself from every word, it rises above them. And when you achieve that, respect comes alone, not because you demand it, but because you inspire it. Mastering your reaction is not only a test of maturity, it is a declaration of emotional independence. 2. Let your consistency speak. Noise is like a storm, loud, chaotic, intense, but fleeting. Consistency, on the other hand, is the sun that appears afterwards without making a sound and dries everything the storm tried to destroy. Envious people live off noise because they need distraction to avoid facing their own mediocrity. But those who are consistent don't need to prove anything, just stand firm until the facts speak for themselves. There is no stronger defense than sustained results. When you decide to move forward without announcing it, when you choose action over justification, you become indestructible. The envious one tries to provoke you with doubts disguised as interest. Are you sure you can keep up this pace? Don't you think you're overrating yourself? Don't waste your time clarifying. Keep working. Consistency responds with facts what words cannot. The Stoic knows that time puts everyone in their place. Discipline, although initially unnoticed, ends up imposing respect, not because you seek recognition, but because consistency is impossible to hide. Seneca said that true achievements are not born from applause, but from daily effort. Therefore, the one who perseveres, even if underestimated, always ends up overtaking those who talk a lot and do little. Letting your consistency speak does not mean remaining silent in the face of injustice, but investing your energy in what really matters. Envious people live off comparisons, you live off evolution. Every day you get up and meet your goals. Even if no one sees you, you are winning a silent battle. It is the battle of character against validation, of purpose against distraction. Consistency is also a form of humility. It does not need to be seen because it trusts its roots. The strongest tree does not compete with the noise of the wind, it just grows. Whoever understands this stops explaining their steps because they know that progress is not defended, it is demonstrated. Your discipline is the answer that needs no voice. When you maintain focus, attempts to discredit you become useless. Phrases disguised as courtesy lose strength in the face of results. You were lucky, they say, without understanding that luck is the disguise that the lazy use to justify their lack of consistency. You don't have luck, you have habits. You don't have privilege, you have purpose. And that's something no one can fake. Practice the art of moving forward in silence. You don't need to post every effort or announce every goal. Real success is not public, it's internal. It's in the peace of knowing that you're doing what you said you would do. The envious seek witnesses, you seek evolution. While they wait for your fall, you keep climbing without looking back. Consistency is uncomfortable for those who live off appearances. It exposes them, it leaves them without excuses, because while they talk, you act. While they seek validation, you seek growth. There is no argument that surpasses results, nor mockery that can stand in the face of evidence. Time takes care of showing who was authentic and who was just pretending. Letting your consistency speak is understanding that you don't need to convince anyone. Just stay true to your process. Whoever understands this stops wasting energy on proving and starts investing it in improving. Because in the end, the noise dissipates, opinions change, and the only thing that remains is your work. Your silent effort will always be more eloquent than any defense, and when time speaks for you, the world will understand that it wasn't luck, it was discipline. 3. Don't apologize for growing. Growing is like moving house. At first, you're excited about the change, the fresh air, the feeling of expansion. But soon you discover that some are not happy for you. They look at you with a tense smile and let out phrases that sound kind, but hide reproach. You've changed. You're not the same. You used to be simpler. They don't say it because your change is bad. They say it because your growth makes them feel small. It's easier to question you than to face the discomfort of their own stagnation. Society trains people to feel guilty for evolving. They teach you that you should be humble, but they confuse humility with dimming your light. They tell you not to show off, when in reality what they fear is that you shine brighter than they dared to try. The Stoic understands that there is no guilt in moving forward, that improving is not betraying anyone. Changing is part of the human duty. You are not obliged to stay where you were understood if that place no longer allows you to grow. When you start to improve, to surpass yourself, to speak with more confidence or take better care of your environment, many interpret it as arrogance. Not because you are, but because your progress reflects their passivity. It's more comfortable to call you egocentric than to accept that they stood still. And this is where Stoicism becomes a tool of freedom. Because true growth doesn't need approval, just purpose. You don't have to justify your evolution or ask for permission to be better. Every step you take towards your best version will be questioned by those who feel threatened. But authentic change doesn't seek to please, it seeks consistency. If your environment is uncomfortable with your progress, you're not doing something wrong. You're awakening dormant consciences. Marcus Aurelius said that living according to reason is living according to nature. And nature grows, transforms, adapts without apologizing. A tree doesn't apologize for growing taller than the rest of the forest. It simply follows the direction of the light. Don't belittle yourself to avoid discomfort. Don't pretend you don't care to appear humble. True humility is not in minimizing your achievements, but in recognizing them without arrogance. It's possible to be great without pride, strong without cruelty, and successful without noise. Personal growth is not a shout of superiority, it's an act of respect towards yourself. Practice the art of standing firm when they try to make you feel guilty for moving forward. If someone tells you you're not the same anymore, respond internally, exactly, and that's the best thing that's happened to me. Don't explain your change, live it. Don't apologize for evolving, because apologizing is saying that improving was a mistake, and growth never is. Seneca wrote that whoever is ashamed of their progress condemns themselves to repeat their past. Guilt is an invisible chain that many use to keep you in the same place. Break it. Every time they try to make you feel bad about your progress, remember that their discomfort doesn't belong to you. You don't have to belittle yourself for others to feel taller. Your path is not measured by how many understand you, but by how many times you chose to move forward, despite the looks. Growing is not arrogance, it's evolution. And whoever doesn't understand it will be left behind by their own choice. So lift your head, keep walking, and don't apologize for being who you finally dared to be. Because the one who apologizes for their growth ends up living to please, not to flourish. Growth is not negotiated, it's honored. And when you do it with consistency, without fear, without guilt, any attempt to make you doubt dissolves in front. 4. Be humble but firm. Humility is like water. It adapts, flows, does not compete with the stones it encounters on the way, but it does not stop before them either. It may seem soft, but over time it wears down mountains. That is the true strength of those who know who they are without needing to prove it. Misunderstood humility makes you weak. Conscious humility makes you indestructible. Being humble does not mean letting others walk all over you, nor staying silent when they try to ridicule you with ironies disguised as politeness. It means having the wisdom not to fall into provocations, but also the strength to set boundaries when necessary. Envious people confuse humility with submission because they want to see you small. They want you to lower your head so they don't feel inferior. But true humility does not crawl, it stands tall. Seneca said that the greatness of the soul does not need witnesses. And that is something the envious will never understand. They measure their worth by comparing themselves. You measure it by your consistency. Therefore, When they throw phrases at you like, "Don't think so highly of yourself," or "You should be more modest," don't take it as advice, but as a reflection. They are projecting their discomfort in the face of your confidence. Do not react with pride, react with clarity. The Stoic knows that balance lies in maintaining calm without losing dignity. Humility is not lowering the tone of your voice to be accepted. It is speaking calmly, knowing that you do not need to raise it to be heard. Firmness is not arrogance, it is self-respect. And when you manage to unite both, you become unbreakable. No one can manipulate someone who has the calm of the wise and the determination of the warrior. There will be times when you will be tested. People who praise you in public will try to diminish you in private. Do not fall into their game. Humility allows you not to react with anger. Firmness allows you not to allow it again. Do not confuse being good with being naive. Stoicism does not teach you to endure abuse. It teaches you to recognize it without losing your balance. Being firm is saying enough without shouting. It is setting boundaries with serenity. It is walking away without resentment. Practice the humility of not needing to prove your worth and the firmness of not letting anyone doubt it. When you are firm, you do not need to defend yourself because your presence already communicates security. When you are humble, you do not need to compete because you know that your growth does not depend on others. The combination of both virtues generates a type of silent power that disconcerts those who seek your reaction. People will confuse your calmness with weakness and your politeness with fear, but time will take care of showing who was really in control. Humility is the language of the wise, firmness the shield of the just. If you walk with both, no comment disguised as courtesy can affect you. Stay serene, but do not give up your space. Listen, but do not absorb the poison of others. Speak with respect, but without fear. True humility is not about hiding your light, but letting it shine without needing to eclipse anyone. And true firmness is not about imposing, but about remaining true to your own principles when the world tries to divert you. Be humble, but firm, because whoever achieves that balance does not need to defend themselves from the noise. Simply walk, knowing that there is nothing more powerful than a soul that has learned to bow without breaking. That is the essence of the Stoic character, the softness of water with the strength of the rock. 5. Recognize disguised envy. Envy doesn't always come dressed in contempt. Sometimes it disguises itself as advice, as a joke, or even as affection. It's like a shadow that smiles while it sizes you up. It doesn't attack you head-on. It surrounds you with kind phrases, but loaded with intention. You're doing well, but don't get too confident. You got lucky. Not all of us have your advantages. These are words that seem innocent, but if you pay attention, you'll feel the sting behind the tone. They don't want to acknowledge your effort. They want to reduce it to something circumstantial. Learning to recognize disguised envy is not about becoming paranoid, it's about awakening. It's about looking beyond the literal and understanding the silent language of intentions. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well. Some only observe you to measure how much they can endure before your shine hurts them. Envy doesn't speak about you, it speaks about them. It speaks of their frustration, their need to compare themselves, the wound they feel when someone does what they dare not. Stoicism teaches to observe without judging. When you detect an envious attitude, you don't need to point it out. You need to understand it. Behind every passive-aggressive phrase, there's an insecurity looking to escape. Recognizing it allows you to keep calm and avoid falling into the trap of responding with anger. Envy seeks conflict because conflict feeds it. But if you maintain control, you weaken it. Don't underestimate what a disguised comment can generate if you're not paying attention. The untrained mind absorbs the poison without realizing it. It begins to doubt its merit, to feel guilty for progressing, to dim itself to avoid discomforting others. That's why awareness is your first defense. When you learn to identify the disguises of envy, its gestures of courtesy and kind words no longer confuse you. You know it's not admiration, it's discomfort. There are those who will use irony as a weapon. Look who thinks he's a businessman. Now you think you're a philosopher. You don't even talk to the old crowd anymore. Don't respond, don't explain, don't lower yourself. Let their own bitterness consume them. Each comment reveals their true internal struggle, the desire to have your determination without the commitment to work for it. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that other people's opinions have no power if you don't give it to them. When someone tries to belittle you, they're looking for you to participate in their game of insecurities. But if you don't enter, the game ends. Recognizing disguised envy is just that, understanding the attempt and not participating. Indifference is an impenetrable wall for the envious. It's also important to admit that envy doesn't always come from afar. Sometimes it's in close circles, in friendships, even in family. People who rejoice in your achievements until they surpass their own. Don't confront them with resentment, but don't keep them close either. Self-love also involves selecting the spaces where your energy can flourish. Not every bond deserves permanence. Practice the art of observing without absorbing. Listen to the words, feel the tone, and ask yourself if behind that smile there is support or comparison. When you develop that clarity, envy stops affecting you because you no longer take it as an offense, but as a signal. You realize that your growth is provoking something in others, and that confirms you're on the right path. Recognizing disguised envy is not about looking with suspicion, but about looking with wisdom. You don't need to defend yourself from every comment, just recognize where it's coming from. 6. Turn criticism into learning. Criticism is like fire. It can burn you or it can forge you. It depends on how you face it. There are those who at the first touch of heat complain, get offended or crumble, and others who learn to resist it until they mold themselves into something stronger. The difference is not in what is said, but in what you decide to do with it. When someone criticizes you, what they are really showing you is their perspective, not your truth. And if you know how to observe intelligently, even wisdom can be extracted from poison. The problem is not criticism, but attachment to recognition. When you constantly seek approval, every negative word becomes a wound. But when you learn to maintain inner balance, others' opinions become simple noise that does not define your value. Seneca said that no one can hurt you without your consent, and that phrase contains a deep truth. The power of words depends on how much you let them in. Envious people use criticism as a disguise. They dare not admit that your progress bothers them, so they disguise it as sincerity. They tell you, it's just my opinion, while trying to plant doubt in your mind. Don't reject everything they say, observe it. Sometimes, even in malicious comments, there is useful information. Not for what they say, but for what they reveal about their way of thinking. Learning to read the intention behind words makes you wiser and harder to manipulate. The Stoic does not seek to eliminate criticism. He seeks to master his reaction to it. When they insult you, you don't need to respond. When they underestimate you, you don't need to prove. When they point at you, you don't need to justify yourself. Your tranquility is your most powerful argument. The emotionally mature person knows that responding with aggression is giving control to the other. But responding calmly is reminding them that they never had it. Learn to use criticism as a mirror. Ask yourself if there is something you can improve, and if there is, thank the lesson. If not, let it go and keep walking. Don't stop to fight with every word thrown at you, because while you waste time explaining your value, you are stopping building it. The energy you spend defending yourself could be invested in moving forward. And over time, results speak louder than any opinion. Marcus Aurelius said that the best defense against criticism is to live in a way that is unfair. That is, to act with such consistency that others' words become irrelevant. There is no way to discredit someone who remains calm while others shout. That calm, that consistency in your actions, is what turns every attack into a test pass. Practicing this lesson requires emotional discipline. It is not easy to hear something unfair and remain calm, but every time you do, you strengthen your character. Every word you choose not to respond, every provocation you let drop, every judgment you do not absorb becomes mental training. This is how fire stops burning you and starts tempering you. Turn criticism into learning, not resentment. Be grateful even to those who wanted to harm you, because they taught you something about your own control. And remember that what annoys your critics the most is not your success, but your serenity in the face of their attempt to sabotage you. Nothing disconcerts them more than seeing that their opinion does not affect you. The Stoic does not seek to silence others, he seeks to master himself. Because when you master your reaction, criticism dissolves into silence. And that silence is not empty, it is power. 7. Don't dim your shine. Light bothers the eyes that have lived in darkness for a long time. That's why when you start to shine, not everyone applauds. Some squint their eyes, others move away, and some try to extinguish you by disguising their discomfort as advice or concern. You're getting too full of yourself. You're not the same anymore. Tone it down a bit. They don't say it to help you. They say it so you return to the size that made them feel comfortable. But if you have to shrink so others don't feel small, you're not growing, you're regressing. Your shine is not arrogance, it's the result of effort, discipline, and consistency. Whoever tells you that you shine too much is actually telling you that their own darkness is unbearable. Light doesn't ask for permission to illuminate, it simply does. Stoicism teaches that virtue is not negotiable. If you do the right thing, if you act with integrity, if you work for your growth, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You don't have to justify your success or your progress. Seneca said that the wise man doesn't seek approval. He seeks to live in harmony with his reason. And whoever lives like this radiates a calm that bothers those who still live for appearances. The world is full of people who feel threatened by authenticity. They like predictable, obedient, insecure people. When someone dares to break that mold, their mere presence becomes a challenge. Shining won't always make you loved, but it will make you free. And freedom always provokes resistance in those who have not yet found it. Don't dim your shine for fear of being judged. The judgment of others doesn't extinguish your worth. It only reveals the level of consciousness of the one who emits it. If someone is uncomfortable with your light, it's not your problem, it's their shadow that is stirred. Marcus Aurelius wrote that when a man lives according to his nature, the opinions of others lose weight. Your nature is to grow, advance, improve, and each step you take in that direction is a silent declaration of your purpose. Practicing this lesson doesn't mean becoming arrogant, but staying true to your truth even when it makes others uncomfortable. Humility doesn't contradict shine. What contradicts it is the need for validation. You can shine without seeking recognition, because authentic shine doesn't seek eyes, it seeks consistency. When your growth comes from your work and your discipline, there's no need to defend it, only to sustain it. Envious people will try to extinguish your light by making you doubt. They will throw ironies, jokes, comparisons, all disguised as courtesy, but don't enter their game. The sun doesn't argue with shadows, it simply continues to rise every day. And you, in the same way, must continue to advance, even when others prefer not to see you. You don't need to convince anyone of your intention. Just continue in silence until the results are impossible to ignore. Protecting your shine doesn't mean isolating yourself, but choosing who you share your energy with. Not everyone deserves access to your light. Some only seek to absorb it. Be selective with the people around you. Stick with those who push you, not those who extinguish you. Life becomes lighter when you learn that not everyone deserves to be in your circle. And that's not pride, it's self-respect. Shining is not an act of ego, it's an act of gratitude. To life, to your effort, to everything you overcame. Every time you choose not to hide to fit in, you're honoring the process that brought you here. So let them talk, let them doubt, let them be uncomfortable. Their discomfort is the proof that your light is still on. 8. Let your peace be your revenge. There are battles that are won without noise, without shouting, without explanations. They are won when you choose not to react, when you decide that your tranquility is worth more than any attempt at provocation. We live in a world where everyone wants to have the last word, where many confuse calm with weakness and silence with defeat. But those who have learned to master their mind know that inner peace is the smartest way to win, because nothing disconcerts those who want to see you fall more than seeing you serene, stable, and in control. Envious people feed on your reactions. They throw disguised comments, subtle ironies, or criticisms with a smile, hoping that you will get upset. Their goal is not to be right, it is to steal your balance. But when you choose not to respond, when your composure remains firm in the face of their poison, you completely disarm them. Silence becomes a mirror where their own insecurities are reflected, and that hurts more than any word you could say. Stoicism teaches that self-mastery is the highest victory. Marcus Aurelius said that no one can disturb your soul if you do not allow it. That is the essence of this lesson, to turn peace into a response, not a retreat. It's not about giving up, it's about rising above. When you choose to remain calm, you are not avoiding confrontation. You are choosing the ground where you win, the field of serenity. Your peace is not weakness, it is strategy. Not responding does not mean ignoring, it means understanding that there are battles that are won with silence. Calm does not need witnesses because its effect is felt. The envious, the malicious, or the provocateur expects you to lose your composure to justify their narrative. If you don't, if you remain calm, they are left without an argument, without a story, and without control. The wise man's revenge is not resentment, it is progress. It is to show that nothing and no one has the power to divert you from your purpose. It is to move forward while others remain trapped in their own resentment. Seneca said that he who masters himself is more powerful than he who conquers cities, because the real war is not fought outside, but inside. Practicing this lesson requires inner strength. It requires deep breathing when you want to respond, looking calmly when provoked, smiling when they expect your anger. It's not easy, but every time you do it, you become the master of yourself. Peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the ability not to get lost in it. When someone wishes you harm, respond with your success. When they minimize you, respond with your results. When they try to provoke you, respond with serenity. Not because you have to prove anything, but because your stability is the clearest evidence of your growth. The Stoic does not seek revenge, because his life is already proof of victory. Let your calm speak where your pride would have spoken before. Don't get into small battles. Don't stoop to clarify what your actions already explain. Peace is not negotiated, it is protected. And when you make it your priority, life takes care of showing who really won. The best response to envy, contempt, or provocation is not attack, it is indifference. Because when your mind is at peace, nothing can touch you. Your serenity is the strongest blow there is, because it is not seen, but it is felt. It is proof that you have stopped reacting to the world and have started to dominate it. And at that moment, you understand that the most elegant revenge is not to humiliate anyone, but to continue growing without looking back, letting silence and calm be the witnesses of your strength. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you watched the whole thing, comment "I am Stoic" as our secret signal to know that you're a true student of Stoicism. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video, and remember, keep cultivating your Stoic mind.